NSU Talks.
Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year to begin with. My name is Arshadul. Welcome to yet another episode of the fall session. This is a new year and a new beginning, and we have a new executive board of one of the most prominent clubs of whether it's on campus or off campus is NSU, yes. And from there, we have two amazing guests. We have the Vice President of Marketing and International Communication, Mohammad Arshadul Islam Chowdhury. Hello, Arshad Bhaiya.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hello Zidan. I hope you all are doing good as well as the audience. Wish you all a very prosperous new year. I'm really looking forward for this show. Thank you.
And of course, we have the General Secretary of NSU, yes, Mohammad Shihabuzzaman. Hello, Shihab Bhai.
Hello Zidan, hello Arish. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Before we start the show and get into a formal question, since this is NSU Talks, and like for all the audience watching here, me and Shihab Bhai actually go way back, as we were discussing a bit behind the scenes before the episode started. We actually know each other before even we got into NSU, for both of us, I would say. Right, and I think looking him grow, the way he transitioned himself, it's absolutely amazing. I had always looked up to him back in the days, and still I do. And also Arshad Bhaiya doing a phenomenal job as well. So for both of you, I would like to ask you, why choose NSU? Like, why did you choose to study in North South University? Then we'll get into the club aspect later. But first of all, why NSU?
Arshad, you can start.
All right. So basically, I did not have any plan to come here at NSU. I had a different vision, a different dream of my own, join the defense. But getting rejected from there, and then my father told me like study for IBA or BUET. But I was really reluctant for going into BUET or in Dhaka University. But I had a vision right after that. The dream got crunched. I had a vision to go to the IBA, but it's tough. It's really competitive. And after that, so I really my father told me that it's the only option you have left, going to North South University. And yeah, Alhamdulillah, wherever I am right now, I'm grateful to Almighty.
Shihab Bhai?
Acha, am I clearly audible and visible?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Okay. So I didn't actually think of starting at North South University initially. So I didn't get chance at IBA. So that's why I started my career or my education career at North South University. So that's it in short. So I was from science background previously. So I thought that BBA is my thing. So that's why I started to pursue the BBA really. That's it.
And following that, I would like to know another thing. Like, both of you obviously started in NSU, yes, right? So why, like, we have 21 on-campus clubs. Like, what attracted you to NSU, yes? Because as a freshman, both of you started as, probationary members, as any other member would do it in NSU, yes. So my question would be, why NSU, yes? And when you guys were probationary members back in the day, did you ever have this vision that one day you would be EBs and you would be leading the clubs, like right now you are in that position? So want to know a bit about that.
Shihab, would you like to go first?
All right. So to be very honest, I never thought that one day I will come to this position where I'm standing. So it's a no, because I came here to find myself. What are my weaknesses? Where my strongness lies? And I thought NSU would be that place where I could find myself in a better version of me. So after working 2 years, 8 months, I believe ultimately I believe that ultimately I came to know who I am and what I am capable of. So therefore, I delivered my work, my side of the story, my side of the achievements, my side of the work, and everything. So I just delivered, and we as a team of NSUES, those who delivered, who reached to this certain stage, that is the executive board that you said. So I never thought that, yes, I will be the executive board member from the day when I started. But after passage of time, when I delivered my work, when we started working together in different events, different seminars and everything, you feel that, yes, you are capable of being that member who can be a part of the executive board.
Arshad bhai?
All right. So I joined NSU back in 2018 summer. So in the spring, I was registered with NSU APC. A little people know about it, but I was an inactive member back there. But yeah, if you're talking about the NSU journey, as an executive board, that I had opportunity, I had a vision or not, certainly not, because back in 2018, as a general member of the club, I had the intention to learn and create opportunities. Furthermore, to bring in at least one voluntary change or improvisation as a matter of initiative into the Club Room 103 as a general member, as a senior member, or as a sub-EB. But like I said, I did not have such intention to be on the board as a newbie. But yeah, later on, I realized that, yeah, I'm capable of whatever I'm doing. I can be a part of the executive board. That's it.
And before Wise gets another thing I want to know, why should NSU yes for both of you guys? Like why yes? Because we are 21 on-campus clubs. What got you to yes as a freshman back in the day?
To be very honest, the only reason behind I joined NSUES was to create networking opportunities. And Alhamdulillah, by the grace of Almighty, I am making some networking opportunities through through the events that we run, through the people that we know, through the alumni that network that we have. Yes, so this is it.
So my side of why NSU yes, right? So NSU yes because NSU yes has that glory, that legacy that we aspire to be part of, and at the end of the day, you learn something from the best, right? So when you are with the best,
one voluntary change or improvisation as a matter of
that legacy. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible there.
I think there were some sort of echoes. Anyway, so when you know that you are with the best and you can learn from the best, I think that's the sustainable approach, that you have some mentor, you have some senior to follow. So this was the best place where people aspire to be and where people wanted to be a part of. So just like them, I also wanted to be a part of this great organization.
Worse.
Right. So let's talk about something which happened for the very first time. The whole procedure of like applying as an executive board member for the club, like for the fiscal year of 2020 and 2021. We all know that the last year was very crucial for all of us. So the question is basically that when you applied for the post of the executive board, did you ever think you would get the position? And like if you would also give some highlight that what was the procedure of applying as an executive board member for this fiscal year, like did it happen, like did you all have to go to the campus, or did it happen all the procedure happened through online? How did the faculty advisor help you in this regard? How did the previous executive board member like gave the handed over the legacy to you guys? Like what was the overall procedure of like applying and being the executive board of NSU?
Shihab?
I couldn't hear it. Zidan, can you please repeat the question?
So basically, he wanted to know the procedure. Yeah. Basically, he wanted to know the procedure because when you apply, did you ever feel that you will get the position? That's it.
I think I answered that in my first question. That is, it's a gradual learning process, right? So you know who you are, you know what you are capable of. So when you start from the scratch, you just deliver, and you know that this is where my mistakes are. This is where I can be a better version of myself. This is where I have the area of improvements. So with the passage of time, ultimately you realize whether you are capable of being executive body member of NSU, yes or not. So initially, I didn't thought that I will be an EB, but gradually I understood that yes, I have the capability or the ability or the experience to be the executive board member.
Arshad bhai.
All right. So, what is the question? Like, what was the procedure for the application? So, if I talk about that, the process was very much simple and was very friendly to what we used to do back in our offline days. We were told to make a pitch deck for a whole year plan and also the long-term plan as we speak, the 5-year long-term plan, also the feasibility analysis of such plan, so that they could, our executives and our faculty advisor, Mr. Samuel Muslim, could understand that what actually we are bringing on the table for the next sustainable, like she said earlier, a sustainable growth for the club. So that was the whole procedure. We had to pitch it in front of our executives of 2019 and 2020, and our faculty advisor Samuel sir as well. So if I talk about did I know, did I think that I was going to get the position? Well, there is always a saying, hard work always pays off. To be very honest, while making the pitch deck for the application of Executive Board 2020-2021, I was I was thinking about what I learned in the past 2.8 years, and this is the actual perfect time to return something back to the club. That's when I believe that I can make it happen to the executive board of 2020-2021.
And something else which I would also like want to know is that I think it's a perception of most people. You guys can help to clear it out, because when you're EBs, you're at the topmost position in a club. So in such a position, usually what we see, even the sub EBs or the general probation members, they have a certain amount of accountability or evaluations, right? But most people think that EBs don't have any accountability or any evaluation. So is it so that you don't have any accountability, and is it so that you pretty much get to do whatever you feel like?
Well, to be very honest, no. We are accountable. We are accountable towards our stakeholders, that is our members, to our faculty advisor, to the administration personnel, to the general people around us, because we are a reputed club. We have been running our events back from 1995. So we have so many stakeholders at our plans that if 1% of the executive board makes a mistake, the whole board or the whole batch gets shattered. And as a result of that, we keep very much we overlook these things very much into the aspect that we are not making any mistakes. We are very much focused on what we are doing and what we plan to accomplish. That's it. So yes, we are accountable.
Yes, to add with Arshad, absolutely not. We as a board don't think so, that we are in the top position and we are the strongest, and just because of that we are not in a position to give answers for our actions, right? So it's not like that. Rather, we think we are a voluntary student and organization who is probably in the one of the top position because of the versatile and talented member base that we recruit. Just like any other place, NSU, yes, is also known for the people, for their behavior, for their action, for their achievement. And on the other hand, we believe in collective approach. You are liable, we are liable, everyone is liable, from the general member to the senior member, from the sub-executive to the executive body member. We all are liable for our actions, for our work allocations, and everything that we do. So therefore, people have the right to talk about NSU, yes. People have the right to judge about NSU, yes. But it should be done in a constructive manner. I believe that.
Perfectly well said, Shihabuzzaman.
All right. Moving on to the next question. So that, like, now since you are the executive board member for this fiscal year of 2020 and 2021, so like as the name of this episode is basically the journey to reach the moon. So what is your vision for the year 2021? So basically, do you have any particular events or plans figured out as a team of the executive board, or like, because yes does have a very strong legacy after all. So what is the plan of this executive board members for this year of 2021?
All right. What is just a typo mistake that we are the vision is journey to reaching for the sky, not moon. All right. So the plan is very complicated. However, we are very much determined to accomplish what we have in our mind. Basically, if we talk about the current business competition scenario of Bangladesh, we can observe that we are in a very much target oriented we are very much specific towards our audience, towards our participants across across Bangladesh. We are having the same mentality of going towards the same people, same participants across Bangladesh, right? And mostly particularly in Dhaka and the big universities. So we, as a club, as a board, and as our faculty advisor vision, also that aligns with us, that we want to get out of that comfort zone. We know about STP, right? Segmentation, target, and positioning. So we have to. We are determined that we are about to change the target and the positioning of our club for the betterment, for a long-term sustainability. That is, we want to get out of our comfort zone. We want to explore new places. We want to explore new participants, their behavior, their competition-oriented behavior. And as a result of that, we are planning to go global this time. And no, there is no particular event that we are currently having in our mind, because let's keep it as a surprise for now on. But we'll definitely have a small baby step towards reaching out a global platform.
Shihab, if you have to add anything.
Yes. Honestly speaking, when Waris asked about the vision of the year 2021, what we want to achieve, and also he talked about the legacy that NSU has have, right? So we are glad that we are part of this 25 years legacy, club legacy. And our vision is to reach to the sky with the sustainable prosperity, meaning we want to pass on our knowledge, our learnings, and the trainings that we have got from the people, so that we can be a better version of ourselves. In this one year timeline, we want to grow ourselves in such a in such a way, so that one day we can realize that yes, NSU, yes, I was a part of NSU, yes, and this taught me such things which changed my life. We want to envision this thing in such a way so that people understand and people aspire to be a part of yes. So this 1 year will be very crucial. This 1 year of online club thing will be very hard for us to grasp, but at the end of the day, we are trying our best to bring something new on the table. And talking about the events, what we are planning, that's secret, we cannot disclose now. Stay tuned with NSUES so that you will know more. And vision is pretty simple: reaching to the sky, or reach the skies with a sustainable prosperity.
When we talk about events, when we talk about events, I remember the last time we hosted NSUES was the previous EB board members, the president and the general secretary. But back then, there was no online event as of yet that was organized by NSUES. But I think after that, there were like two online events organized by NSUES. One was the recruitment, followed by Masters of Ideation, which was highly successful, right? So I want to know from you guys, since you guys were sub-executive board members back then, how was it organizing an online event? Because it was a big transition from organizing on campus to online events. And what were some of the challenges, if you could talk about it? Because I believe even in the next year, most of the clubs would be organizing online events. So I think it would be a big learning for all the other clubs as well. So if you could share your experience of organizing online events.
Absolutely. Thank you, Zidan, for the question. To be very honest, it was a new experience. We never thought of conducting an event online, which NSUES does, offline event, right? But here we are. By this pandemic time, we successfully ran not only recruitment, but also Masters of Ideation, but also Corporate Insights and Escalate, which you missed. The transition took a little time for us to adapt. However, we did it quite successfully, alhamdulillah. So new event and or old event doesn't matter to us. What matters is to successfully held something in our hand, so that
I think Shihabuzzaman is facing a bit of technical issues. Yes,
it's my internet.
Yeah, it's the internet, but you can continue.
All right. Just to end, we never thought that we will be conducting online event, but if you see success, we did it successfully. Masters of Ideation, Escalate, Corporate Insight, and the online recruitment. and our members, general members, are quite outstanding in that way. If you see, even if it's an online event, doesn't matter. So that's it from my side. I think Arshad can add to it.
All right. So, like Shihab said, it was a very new experience for us. It was a challenging experience, I would say. But we had a collective decision before we were actually thinking about how to structurize the online recruitment or the Masters of Ideation. We were thinking that should we go for it or not? So we had a very collective decision with the executives and sub-executive at first, and after that with the general members, those who will be running the online recruitment. We had several discussions with them that are they interested in going for the recruitment or not. There, they showed the enthusiasm they have for the club. Uh, by that, I mean they were very much determined that they will be accomplishing this event and make history, as they say. And as the tagline suggests as well, adapt to advance. So likewise, they were very much focused on what they are doing, and with our support as a sub-executive body member and executive body member as well, they were successful running the online recruitment. And after that, the Masters of Ideation came in. Masters of Ideation, how big and how grandly we organize every year the Masters of Ideation. But as this year was very different, and we also have noticed that several other national events were running same time, such as Briefcase was running, Beastmasters was starting, Battle of Minds was starting as well. So we noticed that as we were having several events at the same time, we need to do something different. So we have created that much structured process into our program that that can be differentiated from any other events, for any other grand events. That's how we were successful going for it. And also, as you said, for the people who will be delivering their online events sooner or later, a suggestion for those people will be go for simulations. Go for a simulation before you actually execute that event, because that will actually help you to know the pros and the cons, where you lack, where you have an edge. As a result of that, you'll be getting that structural process, the approach, that how you should be going. Because once you get into the event, once you run the promotions, you are already going in for the event, right? So it's important that we are running on for a simulation, that you all run for a simulation. As a result, you'll find the pros and cons. That's it.
That's a very important point. You can stand out amongst others.
Right, exactly.
Boris?
All right. Moving on, so like you almost answered the question I was about to ask, which is basically that since we all are talking about adopting to the new normal, right? So what are some of the steps you'd be using for member development, and in particular the recent recruits did not get the club room feeling as most of the earlier members did. So how do you plan on making them feel right at home?
Well, to answer that, we would like to say that club room feeling is one of the most important feel that we want to get, right? As a new recruit or as a newbie.
I think Shihaba is facing a bit of technical issues, but Arshad, if you'd like to continue.
Yes, sure. So, like Shihab was saying, that the club room is the first place that you want to go after you are actually get selected for the event, right? After you get selected for the recruitment of NSU, yes. Especially the club room environment, the chaos, the people around you, the new friends that you make. That's the complete dream of a first fresher, right? But we knew that this is not going to happen anytime soon. We knew the optimistic and the pessimistic strategies, our approaches of as well. So we continued. We really thought of an initiative of one of our initiative of our members, that we will be launching the Discord channel of the Club Room 103 server. There, people can go spend that time, spend quality time with their new friends, and as a result of that, they can make some bondings. This was one of the first initiative that was launched after the recruitment was done.
Uh, Another thing which I would say is that like NSU has four major important events amongst others. Ad makers, Interprot, NMCI, and of course Masters of Ideation. So, is this particular new EV board willing to, or does have any plans to arrange any new event or introduce any new event in that regard, or making the other events which are already there into a much larger scale?
All right. So basically, that's a secret. We cannot disclose it right now.
Okay.
Uh, let's just hope for the best, but definitely we will do something new. That's I can promise.
Another thing which I wanted to know is that, since we are talking about online events, I might as well ask this question. Sponsorship is a major concern when we are organizing events online. But, like we had this discussion many a times before, but I want to have this again because you have organized events already, right? So sponsors have had a hard time because economies had to go through a downfall because of the recent pandemic. So how easy or difficult is it to get sponsors for your online events in this current pandemic scenario? And is the approach any different from the on-campus events in regards to sponsorship?
Sure. If you'd like to.
Am I audible and visible? I'm
Yes.
clearly
Yes.
all right. Sorry for my internet issues. I
Oh,
have no
oh,
hand in it. Apologies for that.
yeah.
So the question was about the sponsorship and
And the approach to sponsorship in regards to online events. Is it
well,
any
it's pretty straightforward. To be very honest, it's pretty straightforward. As you know, or we all know that we have that legacy of 25 years. That we have this tendency to make any event happen successfully. So people know about it. People know about NSU. Yes, people know about how we organize events. Who were our previous sponsors. So from collecting all those informations from the outsider, when we approach let's say any MNC or any company for the sponsors, they get interested firstly. Second of all, since this is an online event, since this is going to this doesn't have any physical promotion or offline promotion, so it will be very difficult for them to understand the track and everything. So we give them the platform of Facebook, social media, that is the Instagram of NSUES, social media of NSUES, LinkedIn promotion and everything, so that they get interested. And we have around 35,000 like in our Facebook. Good amount of follower on Instagram, good amount of follower on our LinkedIn. So we help them to create that traction that they need for their company, which they get by sponsoring or which they get by getting associating with us. I think that's clear answer, right?
Yeah, that is a very, very clear answer. Asad, if you'd like to add anything to it.
All right. So I had the experience to be one of the sponsor head in MCI back when we were offline. So I noticed a significant difference in the proposal of offline events versus the online events. The difference is we have to cut down the offline parts, the offline benefits that we can provide to the sponsor company completely, because we cannot offer them actually, and we cannot actually say lie to them that we will be doing offline promotions and everything. So yeah, and the main challenge that we have to face in the online in online events, that is we have to make the sponsorship organization understand about who we are, what we do, and where we belong from where we belong, because we are not actually going physically to meet with them. So the only way it's possible, the only solution that I can actually suggest is have a quick research, have a deep research, deep analysis of the company, of the organization that you're going. Talk about where they lack, where they can go for the benefits, and thus they can be actually interested in investing in your event as well.
Where is?
Great. Moving on to the next question. NSU has a certain rule book and guideline, right, which all the members, including the EBs, the general members, and the sub EBs, have to follow. So, like, how does the club make sure that every other member has access to it? And if you could tell us a bit about the rule book and guidelines which NSU yes follows.
To answer to that, am I audible right now?
Yes.
All right. So talking about the guidance or talking about the rule book, certain rule book that you said, guidelines, apologies. So we have a constitution. We have NSU constitution, and we part of it are by the members, the general members. When they are recruited, they get it, a copy of it. Let's say 5 to 6 page of it, and we present this from the club side so that people or the general member of the club understand what are the rules and what are the regulations that they need to abide by, that they need to follow. So certain of it is published, or certain of it is accessed via members. But by the end of February, we have a plan that we are going to announce the constitution to the general members, to the senior members, to the sub-executive, and to everyone, so that when they get enter into this place, they know every ins and outs, and what will be the consequences for their actions, what will be they facing if they do any misdeed. So for that, we are very strict. We are very strict about it, and we are people-based organization, right? So we all the time think about betterment of our members, how we can give them a fresh and a transparent uh, culture, so that they learn, they have the capability to grow. So I think those rules, guidelines are very important for a club. And inshallah, by the end of February, we are going to open the constitution for the general members, senior members, sub-executive, and everyone.
So basically, every other member in NSUS will have access to the constitution.
Certain part of the constitution. Let's say certain regulations, rules and regulations.
Understand. I think that question was pretty much answered. The next question, which I would want to know, is that, besides the announcement of executive board, the sub-executive board members were also announced, and we have seen this time there are 29 sub-EBs, if I'm not wrong. So is it usually that number? Because what we have usually seen is that most clubs in North-South universities have around 15 sub-EBs or around that number, but this time around it's 29 sub-EBs. So is there any particular reason for it, or if you had to say anything regarding to it, the floor is all yours.
Right. Zidan, thank you for your question. The answer is very simple and in one word. That is the vision that we have. Because like we said, it's reaching for the skies, right? And we have to expand. And as a result of that, we need to make ourselves comfortable with the people that we work with. And also, like for the expansion, we need to have different departmental roles for our people, and under which the general members can work. So that's the main reason why we have initiated this plan of bringing in 29 sub-EBs on the web. But these 29, because also if I talk about their talent and intellect, they are very good. They're literally very good, and we were very much confused on kake bad diye kake nibo and everything. But as a matter of whole, as a matter of a collective decision, we had to take up this decision that no, we have to take everyone, because these people are really damn good, and they can actually make this vision real in the long-term process.
Shihaba, if you have to add to it.
Yes, to add with Arshad, to be very honest, this time we got baffled that what we need to do, since 29 is a huge number, right? For the sub-executive position. It's hard time for us to select or to select the best and to give relief to those people. Yes, you are done with your service and everything. Well, we are grateful to you, but this time it was very tough for us to do that, because everyone of the sub-executive body member batch, you will find them very much competitive, very much excellent in academics, very much actionable, and these people are amazing, honestly speaking. And we couldn't select less. And in our time, there were 20 executive body members. So you see, the bar of expectation is getting high every day and every year and every batch. So from our batch, it was 20, and this time it's 29. We don't know what will be in the future, since this depends on the actions and the performance of the general members, senior members, and the sub-executive, right? So it's a overall board progress. So that's why we selected the 29 number, and every one of them is very much compatible, and they are good in their own way.
Completely understandable.
All right. So moving on to the next question. So basically, SABIB members in NSU, yes, like do not usually have any particular role, as they're expected to work in all departments. So like, however, during my time in NSU, yes, I did find that before any event, SABIB members are divided into different groups for, like, let's say, for example, sponsorship, then the graphics and media department or PR department. So like, do you, like, as the new executive board member, do you wish to continue this practice, or like, do you want to have separate groups allocated for the Sabibis, like, as a whole?
Well, Waris, thank you for your question. Basically, the plan is very much simple because we want to create opportunities for everyone. We want to bring opportunities into the plates, and as a result of that, we would like to see them working in each and every field of NSUS, particularly. And likewise, we want to see how they can get out of their comfort zone and work, because at the end of the day, when you go to a corporate job or a business, you don't actually see a particular field. Sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone and see the other approach, how the other departments work. So we want to create that simulation, like I said before. We want to create that simulation into the minds of people, of our sub-BBs, that yes, you are not very much specific into your own task. Let's say you're working for IT, right? So the next time you won't be there in the IT, you'll be getting out of your comfort zone and working on the sponsorship department. That's the basic approach that we are taking and we will be taking.
Shihab?
Well, to be very honest, Sabibi or the sub-executive position is a very important position in NSU. Yes, you're just like a sandwich, and you're just in between like a patty. All right. So you maintain the executive body member communications with the senior members and the general members. So you see, you're just in between of this thing, right? So when it comes to the crucial point, you see, we evaluate them how good leader you are, or sub-executive body member position is totally a leadership role, and from this position we see whether you are capable of being executive body member or not. No in between, right? So it's a do or die situation.
Yeah.
So that's why they need to learn every department. They need to go to every department, from the sponsorship department to the media and publications department to the case and publications department, to the logistics and operations, and to the communication. So every department that we have, they are just shifted from one role to another role, so that they can learn and they can have that knowledge, certain knowledge, to become an EB. So I think you got your answer why this is important, right?
Yes,
so we cannot abolish this whole process, that why specific departments, why not all. A man cannot, or a member cannot follow every department or cannot communicate with every other department. They need to focus in their own specific department, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like MNC, that you follow the marketing, I'm looking over the HR, so that guy is looking over the finance. So it's a simple line that we maintain, so that they remain sane and they have a peaceful mind, so that they can focus on their academics, so that they can focus on their club work and the extra work that they're doing in their life.
I think, Jay, we talked a lot about clubs and events and sub-BBs, but like when you guys are here, I think this topic we need to talk about is business competitions, right? So speaking of business competitions, firstly, I want to know from a bit of club's perspective that, how much does a club encourage business competition, like for its members to take part or participate in business competitions? Because you guys clearly organize some of the biggest business competitions in the country. So do talk about a bit about the club culture in regards to the business competitions scenario.
Answer to that, we are much more into organizing. This has been the club culture, what we got from the general member perspective, but we don't want to continue this organizing thing. Also, we encourage our member, we want to encourage, honestly speaking, to participate in these organizations, to participate in these competitions, right?
Yeah.
Not only organizing but also participating in this overall business competition arena. So your question was, Sorry, can you repeat your
I
question?
think you answered the question rightfully. It was the club culture and business competition. Does the club encourage its members to take part in business competitions?
Well, as I have said, that the club culture was organizing, not participating that much. But if we look our alumni from very previous batch from 2011, 12, 13, 14, there was the culture. But unfortunately, we don't know why this culture was lost, because I think we were much more into organizing and academics and maintaining our life. But from my senior batch, I have seen them participating in business competitions, achieving these, doing this and doing that. At the same time, maintaining a very balanced life. So it's tough, but we are training. We want to train as a new board that a member have a good balance on their club life and academic life and extracurricular activities life. So these things need to be shifted from where we have seen, and this thing is shifting since I also do business competition. Arshad also does business competition. This is how we are improving day by day. So a club culture doesn't change drastically, rather it takes time, with the passage of time, step by step.
Gradual change. I think Arshad bhai, if you have to add anything to it.
So we follow a very simple approach as of now, that is learn and then execute. So we're learning while organizing the events, how the modules are like, how the structure is like, and after that, we are actually promoting the culture of bringing in a team of NSUES or in between the NSU premises that you're representing the club or the university into the national or global platform, right? So a clear example is in front of you right now. Shihab, like Shihab with his team and Team Undisputed is from North South University, Young Entrepreneur Society. That's how we actually bring in the culture. We actually make a competition hub among ourselves that yes, we have to do something. We are not only, like Shihab said, we are not only on organizing, we are not an event management firm, but rather we have to focus on bringing in talent people from our end who are actually enthusiasts for doing business competitions. Thus, we are forming different teams of different individuals of different backgrounds and letting them explore the world into other business competitions around them.
On a very personal note, I would like to ask like both of you, uh, just a bit. I think there's a bit of mic issue. Yeah. On a very personal note, I would like to ask both of you, what does business competition mean to both Arshad bhai and Shihab bhai? And more importantly, how do you deal with heartbreaks when you go so close, when you are in the finals and you don't end up winning? I think that's a bit of heartbreak because you literally give everything to it, and then the trophy goes to some other team, and you have to sit there and see it. So how do you deal with this? Because I think for a lot of new students, it demotivates them from participating into further business competitions. But you guys are very experienced, so I think they might learn as well from your experience. So please do share away your thoughts.
To be very honest, business competition is the sole reason I shifted from science in my from my college days to BBA, and that was the lucrative thing for me that I want to pursue. I wanted to be that smart guy who knows, right? So from that thing, from that perspective, and from overall approach, I want to say business competition is a very has a very soft space or soft corner in my heart. It's a thing I am passionate about. It's a thing I want to nurture. It's a thing I want to let people know, learn it, because this is something that will broaden your eye, broaden your perspective, and you will know a lot from your book, from your academics. Those things are not practical. This has a practical implications from where you can learn more, where you can grow more. All right. So the second part of the question was what it means to me
Heartbreak.
and how we deal with the heartbreak, right?
Yeah.
So talking about heartbreak, used to it, honestly speaking, you just get stone cold. All right. So stone cold at one time because I did 40 competitions in my third year, 3 years of my university life, and I mostly lost all of them. If you just see the success rate, that's very partial, that's very minimal, right? So I never lost the finale of any business competition, till 14th December of
Battle of
14th December of 2020. But that was the competition I lost for the first time in my finale. I never lost any finale in my life, and so it's heartbreaking, and it takes time to grasp যে you lost a competition. It's not easy, and reaching to that level, that so close yet so far, it's not easy. It's tough, but at the end of the day, you need to be that mature to accept the failure, to accept your winning rate, to accept everything around you. So business competition makes you mature. Business competition increases your acceptability level to certain height, that you understand how lives are, or you understand how life is conducted. All right, so that's it.
So is it just, before we move on, is it the acceptance that gets you going? Ekta harar por you accepted it and then you participate in the next one. Well, it can be very hard.
Well, that depends on your motivation, Zidane. That totally depends on your motivation. Either you get demotivated, either you get derailed from your line of motivation, or what. It totally depends on you, ভাইয়া, যে তুমি করতে চাও নাকি করতে চাও না। সিন্স তোমার এখানে ফেলিয়ার রেট বেশি, তুমি এটা কেন করতে চাবা? মানে আমরা তো একটা নাম্বার, স্ট্যাটিস্টিক্যাল নাম্বারের দিকে দেখে আমরা উই মুভ ফরওয়ার্ড, রাইট? তো এখানে তুমি কিন্তু দেখতেছো যে তুমি অনেকগুলো কম্পিটিশন হেরে গেছো, তো তুমি কিন্তু চাবা না ফ্রম ইউর হার্ট দ্যাট ইউ ওয়ান্ট টু কন্টিনিউ দিস থিং, কন্টিনিউ বিং আ মানে কোল্ড হার্টেড ম্যান, রাইট? তুমি এটা চাবা না। So it's tough. It's not always easy to digest the fact that you lost a competition, you lost to certain institution, you lost to certain university, right? It's not that easy, but at the end of the day, you become mature, you understand something greater in life is ahead that I cannot see or I cannot foresee. So that's it. That's my digesting capability, or that's my digesting strategy that I want to follow.
Arshad bhai, if you can talk about your experience with business competitions.
Okay. My experience will not be as much long. The list would not be as much long, just like Shihab. But for me, business competitions are actually practically implementing the academic knowledge, and it's the actual perfect platform to get the real life exposure. Now, why am I saying this? I have personally participated in 27 national competitions so far, but each and every time I was learning. I was learning and where to improve, how and where to improve. There were maximum times where I used to get sunk, but while doing competitions, I used to get kicked out after semi-finals, after finals. But then again, I used to believe in myself that this is the learning curve. University is a learning curve where I need to learn, because I need to understand where I am lacking. In which part am I lacking? Am I lacking on the finance part? Am I lacking on the ideation part? Where? However, that is the reason. However, it is important to keep the heads up and move on to the next race. As a particular, I don't believe that I am running with a team. I believe I am representing my university. So if I lose this time, no problem. I have to learn from it and move on to the next one, keeping my NSU flags up. So that's the approach everyone should be taking, I believe.
Before one, as the next question, I have to know, like, Battle of Minds 2020. I think Arshad bhai, you served as the campus ambassador. Shihab bhai, you reached the finals. So how was it? How was the experience of Battle of Minds all over? Because I watched the finale. It happened virtually. I watched Shihab bhai's presentation and the things you did. You know, it was truly amazing, and I completely enjoyed it. So I want to know from both of you all, because you were very much involved with Battle of Minds. How was it for Arshad bhaiya? You were the campus ambassador, and how was it, Shihab bhaiya, becoming the finalist?
Arshad go first. কারণ ও তো campus
Right, I'll start at the beginning. Yeah. So after I got selected as the Exceed Talent Ambassador of British Migrant Tobacco Bangladesh and we were given the induction session of how to organize Battle of Minds. I really thought that এটা তো ব্যাপার না, event organize করে আসতেছি, এটা তো কোনো ব্যাপারই না. But then again, I came to know that this time we have to do it something different, because you have seen the platform that we have used for the road show. Probably you have seen how we have organized the semi-finale or the finale itself. So it was a complete different platform that we have used, right? So at that point of time when we were given the instructions, the complete platform was being constructed by the specialist, and after that we were given the simulation of how it is conducted, our feedbacks from our end, that from a participant's point of view, that where is it lacking, because this is something very much new. The virtual platform that we have used, that is something very new. We used Avatar, and it was like a complete GTA experience, right? So this was something new, so we had to learn first, and then we had to make the participants realize. And alhamdulillah, by the grace of almighty, that I alhamdulillah, that North South University had the opportunity to bring in the highest amount of participants for Battle of Minds, that is 474. And we had a finalist as well, like Team Undisputed. So it was an amazing journey so far, and the journey is not over yet. I still do have 6 months time left as an ambassador, and currently I am working as the recruitment liaison between the North South University and British American Tobacco Bangladesh. That's the community experience that I have. Shia, would you like to go for the participants' point of view?
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, clearly, Shihabuzzaman.
All right. So the experience that I got from Battle of Minds 2020, it's phenomenal, honestly speaking, because with a certain experience, with a certain expertise or with a certain learning that you come up with in this platform, this is the perfect platform to flourish, perfect platform to show what you are capable of, perfect platform to go beyond your limit. They accept all of it. They accept who you are. They accept your ideas. They accept everything. And not only that, this is the highest level of competition I have participated. They just pamper you with lots of goodies. They pamper you with jackets. They pamper you with mask and everything, hand sanitizer, because at the end of the day, they are British American Tobacco, right? But keeping this thing aside, so this will be the epitome of experience that you can get. The best, hands down, the best. I lost this competition. I really don't mind, because I learned in such a way, in a so rigorous manner, that the day I participated in Battle of Minds, it just completely changed my business competitions POV, perspective, and everything. So in short, it was amazing, and in short, it was life-changing, because this is a competition which is beyond competition. You are in the field level to implement it. You are given certain allocation of money. Go and execute it. Go and do the activation. All right. And talking about the team chemistry of NSU, from the NSU people, I got Sakib Bhai, I got Rafidullah Chowdhury in my team. Outstanding combination, honestly speaking. But nonetheless, we lost. I would like to apologize that we couldn't bring the glory home. It's an immense responsibility on our shoulder, because you feel that your shoulder is not feeling the lightweight anymore. You're representing North South University, right? In the global arena, in the national arena. So sometimes we felt that we don't want to be the disappointment. We don't want to be a failure. We went to the stage like a champion. We landed like a champion, and we feel like we're champion. Nonetheless, we didn't get the title, but we feel from our heart that we're champion. That's it. It's not a consolation. It's not a consolation for me, but we felt that we did more than a champion. That's it.
But I think from the get-go, when you were introduced as Team Undisputed, like that video in itself went so viral, and then you became the finalist team amongst like so many other. I think that is an accomplishment in itself, I have to say. And I think what Team
Absolutely.
Undisputed is doing, I think it's carrying on the legacy of all the other NSU alumni. Like I had the opportunity of hosting some of the alumni teams. I think you guys are carrying forward that legacy. I think Undisputed has certainly left its mark in the business competition arena from NSU. I think so. Congratulations for that, Shia Bhaiya. And also congratulations
so
to Arshad Bhaiya for pulling off as the role of campus ambassador.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. So we are almost around the end of our session. So I have two long questions. These are related to the business competitions. So basically, like as Team Undisputed or any other like amateur teams of North South University like going for participating in a business competition, like the approach to the first initial business case which they get in the first round. So like, does the team go for it with a mindset of winning the competition, or do you guys like go for it for winning the overall competition, or like what is winning the first case about, like business case about? Like, is it the teamwork, or is does it depend on one particular member of the team, or like how do they allocate the works? Because it is one case, right? In many of our courses in NSU, we usually practice answering cases, but regarding the business case of business competitions in the first round, like how do you approach it basically? And if there is any suggestions from both of you for the future groups like participating in business competitions and going through that round, any suggestions would be highly useful to everyone.
Well, to answer that, first of all, online rounds are very precise and very crisp, right? You need to submit, let's say, 15 slides. And by these 15 slides, by these very specific numbers of work, let's say, generate a big idea, generate a marketing campaign, just jot down some financials and everything. So what they want to see from this very first round, where most of the teams are eliminated, most of the teams are cut off, right? So they just need to focus on the key message. That is what you want to promote, what you want to envision the judge to see, right? Since we are a BBS student, since student from different versatile background participate in business competition, most of them are frustrated with this online round, the very first round, because I myself couldn't qualify for first 13 competitions in my life. I lost all of them because first round cross করাটা এত tough হয়ে যাইতো. But now I know what to give. So what to give, to be very honest, যেটা লাগে ফার্স্ট রাউন্ডের জন্য, ওরা চায় যে আপনি কত সিম্পল ওয়েতে একটা আইডিয়া আপনি সেল করতে পারতেছেন, আপনি কত সুন্দরভাবে একটা কথা বলতে পারতেছেন স্লাইডস এর মাধ্যমে, আপনি কিন্তু প্রেজেন্ট করতে পারতেছেন না। সো আপনি যত ভালো প্রেজেন্টারই হন না কেন, পিপল ডোন্ট অ্যাকচুয়ালি কেয়ার, কারণ আপনি ফার্স্ট রাউন্ডটা পার করে দেন, আপনি প্রেজেন্টেশন রাউন্ডে যাচ্ছেন, রাইট? সেকেন্ড রাউন্ডে। সো ফার্স্ট রাউন্ডটা পার করার জন্য যেটা লাগবে, সুন্দর স্লাইড, আপনার একদম মিনিমাল, আমি যেটা ফলো করি যে উইথ প্রপার রেশনালস গুলো দিতে হবে। আপনি কোনটা কেন করছেন এটা কিন্তু আপনি প্রেজেন্ট করলে বলেন, আর আপনি প্রেজেন্ট না করলে কিন্তু বলেন না, রাইট? সো এটা একটা। আর হচ্ছে সেকেন্ড গেল হচ্ছে রেশনালস। থার্ড হচ্ছে বিং কনফিডেন্ট। আমরা অনেক ভাবি, আমরা হচ্ছে আচ্ছা এই আইডিয়াটা দিলে জাজ কি ভাববে, এটা না ভেবে আপনি যে আইডিয়াটা প্রেজেন্ট করতেছেন, বি কনফিডেন্ট অ্যাবাউট ইট। অলরাইট? আপনি যদি আপনার আইডিয়া নিয়ে কনফিডেন্ট না থাকেন, 10 বার যদি আপনি মানে স্কেপটিক্যাল মাইন্ডে কোয়েশ্চেন করতে থাকেন যে হোয়াট ইজ হ্যাপেনিং, হোয়াট জাজ উইল থিঙ্ক, এটা তো ইমপ্লিমেন্টেবল না। মেক ইট ফিজিবল, দ্যাটস ইয়োর সাইড অফ দ্য স্টোরি, রাইট? আপনি একটা আইডিয়া বানাইলেন, আপনি যদি এটা ফিজিবলি না করতে পারেন, তাহলে তো আপনার জন্য টাফ হয়ে যাবে জিনিসটা নিয়ে আপনার মানে প্রসিড করা ইন দ্য ফিউচার। সো তিনটা সাজেশন, যে প্রিসাইজ রাখতে হবে মেসেজ, কমিউনিকেবল রাখতে হবে, ইজি কমিউনিকেশন করতে হবে, এন্ড লাস্ট বাট নট দ্য লিস্ট মিনিমাল, একদম আপনি চুপ মানে অল্পের মধ্যে আপনি বলে দেন, অল্পের মধ্যে গর্জিয়াস যেটা আমরা বলি, দ্যাটস ইট।
All right. Shia probably has talked about the scenario of how the approach should be taking on the business case, initial business case. I'll just highlight on some of the solutions that can be implemented by the newcomers or the new people who are business competition code enthusiasts. So first of all, I'll suggest this is a teamwork. Sit down together, be it online, be it offline. Sit down and have a thorough reading of what the case is all about. Highlight the necessary points from the case, read it out 2 to 3 times, and focus where is the problem, because the problem remains vague in a business case competition, in the initial case. It is important that we should be focusing on the problem first and then talk about its solution. So when you are done with the problem, you have to focus on where the gap lies, where you can improve, where the solution can be implemented. And as a result, you come up with the big idea, right? Also, like Shihab said earlier, you have to keep a backup plan for the big idea as well. But you need to be very precise. But the idea that you are giving away the marketing idea, probably the finance ideas, any ideas that you're giving away, aligning with should be aligning with your big idea. And the most important thing, your all of the campaigns should have a justification of its own, because you simply do not put আমি এটা করব আমি এটা করব আমি এটা করব. You have to say কেন করব. So what and how should be there in the slides. So that's my solution to the new people.
All right. So, like, how is it both participating and organizing business competitions? If you had to speak from the perspective of both a participant or an organizer, like, which one would you like mostly prefer? And one of the most important aspect is like recently we did see a lot of issues over social medias going viral that like the thing about plagiarism, right? Like an idea by a team is being taken by another team and being used in another business competition of some other universities. So like how does the organizers deal with these kinds of plagiarisms, and is this plagiarism thing a common scenario in online business competitions?
Well, to answer to this question, firstly, you asked about participating and organizing business competition, right? So আমরা এখানে যারা আছে আমি আরশাদ, আমরা কিন্তু ফার্স্টে উই স্টার্টেড অ্যাজ অ্যান অর্গানাইজার, রাইট? আমরা যখন ক্লাবে ঢুকলাম আমরা দেখলাম যে মাস্টার্স অফ আইডিয়েশন হচ্ছে, 2019 হচ্ছে, র্যাডিসনে আমরা ইয়ে করলাম, ফিনালে করলাম। ইট ওয়াজ হিউজ এক্সপেরিয়েন্স ফর আস যারা নতুন নতুন ক্লাবে ঢুকলাম, ঢুকে উই কেম টু নো অ্যাবাউট ইট। বাট আলটিমেটলি উইথ দ্য প্যাসেজ অফ টাইম we realize that we know how to organize, but now it's time to participate. So since my second semester, I started participating in business competitions, and since my second semester, I organize Masters of Ideation. So I know what are ins and outs of organizing. Now it's time for me to participate. So I didn't complain. Let's say if I participated in any university's competition, if there is mistake in my name, in my certificate, I really don't complain. I know how it feels from the organizer perspective just to write a certificate and to make a mistake. So it's okay, it's obvious. So to answer to that, to the
Second question.
participating and organizing, which one I would select? I would select both, because I don't know, and I felt that it's for everyone to know organizer side of the story to the participant side of the story. And you talked about the plagiarism, right? The idea stealing thing. I feel disgraceful because when I saw that people are copying each other ideas because they are not being creative, because they didn't get time. You cannot just copy. It's against ethical value. Just question yourself. You are just copying someone's idea and you just give it in your slide. How is this feasible? You don't know about your idea even. You didn't talk a single bit about it. You didn't have conversation. And to be very honest, let's say when we did brand deal, me and Arshad together, we jotted down around roughly 30 creative ideas, marketing ideas. And how come you cannot select an idea by your own? Why you need to copy? Because you didn't do proper research, number one. You don't have time. You don't have time or combination or chemistry between your teammates. That's why you just copy. So my suggestion, don't do it. There is no point doing it. Rather take it, learn it, and go ahead. It's better not to give and copied idea rather than keeping it blank. That's it from my side.
Arshad bhai.
All right. If I speak from the organizer's point of view about organizing business competitions, I would say that this is a learning platform that where you're learning how to manage people, how to manage certain circumstances, certain situations, whatsoever you're in your future, you're actually acting as the. This is like just like I said, this is just a simulation of what you're doing in your corporate or business life. So as you're managing, you're organizing, you're managing people, you're managing different various situations, you're learning in such process. And for that reason, we also get to know about the networking opportunities. We are getting to know about the judges, we are getting to know about the partners, we are getting to know about the sponsors company. So we are actually also making a connections of ours. So it's not just giving away, it's having our own benefits as well. And if I talk about from a perspective of a participant, I would say the learning that I have from organizing is implemented and executed in while I am participating in the event. Because whatsoever you're learning, you're actually having that much mindset that yes, this should be the approach of how I should be going for the first round. This should be the approach I should be going for the second round, because you actually have observed that how different teams from different universities across Bangladesh are actually presenting their slides, how they are making their stories, how they are making their financials, how they are making their campaigns. So you actually get an idea, and through that learning process, you're actually getting to implement those into while you're going for your business competitions as participant. And if I talk about your second question, that is plagiarism, Shihab has told this like Shihab said, this is very much disgrace for the people who are actually giving their heart and soul for a for participating in a business competition. That's a disgrace for them. And to add on that, I think all the clubs needs to be very much strict about this. There are vaults basically where all the slides, all the ideas that are kept, these should be intact and should be only be preserved by the executives or probably by the faculty advisor only. Because if this get leaked, you have seen such in the recent year, right? So if this get leaked, this is just a shame for the team who for the other teams who have given their heart and soul for the competition, and on the other hand, there's a team coming with ideas that are stolen, right? So you're not learning anything. You're not being like, this is not a sportsmanship. This is not what a perfect team should be like. So this should be stopped. And like I said before, the clubs should be very much strict about it. All the clubs that organize such events.
I think before we move on, I wasn't planning to ask this question, but I feel like I should ask this question: is that how important is team formation or team chemistry in accordance to both of you? Because I feel, Jay, for the people who are starting business competition, let's say people of the first or second semester, to find that right team, it gets a bit hard for them, right? So I want to know from both of you all, how did you guys find the right team? Or Shihaba, you can even talk about how did Undisputed even form in the first place. So if you could add a bit to that in regards to the question.
Well, thank you, Zidane, for this question. There is nothing called correct team formation. It's just a preconceived notion that we learn or we hear from our senior. একটা টিমের মধ্যে মার্কেটিং এর ছেলে রাখবি, একটা ফাইনান্সিয়ালস রাখবি, আর বাকি দুইটা তোর ইচ্ছা, right? It's nothing like this. Trust me.
Think once again a bit of technical issues. But if Arshad bhai, if you had to add anything to it before like Shihab bhai gets his connection.
So I think it's very important that you have a perfect team of your own, putting into it simpler words, because in my freshman year, when I started doing competitions back in 2018 summer in the Champions of Art, so I felt that I need a team that is pretty much enthusiastic of what to do, and is it a short term? Are they planning just for this competition, or it's an overall long-term plan? So I formed a team, and later on I saw that this is not going anywhere soon, because they have no future. They regarding going prospering or getting this success rate into future terminology. So that's where I decided that I need to form a team who are enthusiastic enough, and thus I have participated with so many other teams. I had the experience. I was looking for teammates that who are perfect fit for doing competitions, and finally back after six months back, I found that Team Undisputed has been phenomenal throughout their years, and that's where I joined Team Undisputed. And this is probably the second generation of Team Undisputed that we are having currently. We also have the third generation in our hand as well. So I believe it's very much important that we form a team who are actually seeing the future of winning competitions, not just for the particular competition.
Yes,
Yeah.
share.
Well, am I audible and visible now?
Yes, perfectly.
All right. Sorry for my internet interruptions. Apologies for that. Well, first of all, you talked about how Team Undisputed were formed, and then before that, you asked যে team formation কিরকম হওয়া উচিত, right? So team formation বলে actually কোনো কথা নাই ভাইয়া. You can be you can form a team with anyone you want. Just you must have a good chemistry between you and your team and your team members. So তোমার টিমের মধ্যে যে চারজন মার্কেটিং মেজর নিয়েও যে বিজনেস কম্পিটিশন যেতে যায়, we did it. My teammates সাকিব ভাইয়া, my teammates তাসকিন ভাই, সামি ভাই, me myself a marketing graduate, আমরা চারজনে মিলে হচ্ছে একটা কম্পিটিশন জিতে আসছি, right? So it's not always what is your major, it's not always where are you from. এখন ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং স্টুডেন্টসরাও বিজনেস কম্পিটিশনস করে and they're doing it well. So ওরা তো বিবিএ পড়ে নাই, ওরা কেউ জানে? কোশ্চেনটা কিন্তু এরকম না। ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে ইটস আ ওপেন সোর্স অফ নলেজ, যে কেউ পার্টিসিপেট করতে পারে, তোমার কাছে রিসোর্স আছে, সবকিছু আছে। সো টিমের মধ্যে যে একটা ফাইন্যান্স মেজর থাকতে হবে, মার্কেটিং মেজর থাকতে হবে, এইচআর মেজর থাকতে হবে, এরকম কিছুই নাই। এরকম দিস আর প্রিকনসিভ নোশনস এন্ড ইটস আমার কাছে অবসোলেট লাগে। সো কামিং টু দ্য ফরমেশন অফ টিম আনডিসপিউটেড হচ্ছে মি এন্ড সাকিব খন্দকার ভাই ইনিশিয়েটেড ইট। সো আমরা কম্পিটিশন পারতাম না, টু বি ভেরি অনেস্ট। এখনো হয়তো আমরা খুব ভালোভাবে করতে পারি না, বাট আমরা উই ট্রাই টু বি ভেরি অনেস্ট। সো আমরা যখন পারতাম না, মানুষজন আমাদের যখন টিমে নিত না, সো উই থট যে না, ওয়াই উই স্টার্ট আওয়ার নিউ টিম এন্ড উই ইনিশিয়েট দ্য লেগেসি অফ টিম আনডিসপিউটেড। সো দিস ইজ হোয়াট উই ওয়ান্টেড টু প্রমোট। সো আলটিমেটলি এখন ওয়ার উই আর স্ট্যান্ডিং, এক বছর আগেও আমরা ভাবি নাই যে আমরা এত ভালো করব, অথবা আমরা কত ভালো করতেছি হয়তো নিজেদেরটা বোঝা যায় না নিজেদের perspective থেকে। People outside the team can judge, people outside the common people can judge us যে টিম আনডিসপিউটেড কতটুকু ভালো করতেছে। So it's totally up to the people how they see or how they perceive us, but at the end of the day আমরা চাই যে এই আনডিসপিউটেড যে লেগেসিটা আছে।
আচ্ছা, bit of internet issues once again Shihab bhai's side থেকে, but I think Shihab is back. We'll wait a second.
Apologies. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, Shihab.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes,
কতটুকু শোনা গেছে ভাই?
Undisputed যে legacy-টা, how do you want to carry forward? So ওই পর্যন্ত we're there.
Yes, to be very honest, we want to continue this legacy. আমরা চাই যে আমরা যখন নর্থ সাউথ থেকে চলে যাব, টিম আনডিসপিউটেড জানি থাকে। This is what we want to promote, and আমরা চাই যে নর্থ সাউথের একটা টিমই হোক হচ্ছে টিম আনডিসপিউটেড। At the end of the day, best competition goerরা will be a part or will bear the sigil of team undisputed. That's it. This is what we envision. I don't know how much this is feasible, কারণ আমরা চলে গেলে যেটা দেখি যে গ্রাজুয়েট করে ফেলার পর ওই টিমটা কন্টিনিউ করার মতো আর মানুষ থাকে না, রাইট? So we want to continue this legacy.
Amazingly, wonderfully said, Bhaiya. And with that being said, যে আমরা অনেক like serious কথা বলছি, অনেক very deep rooted answers দিয়েছি। I think this is a fun thing we do. I think you guys would love it as well. It's sort of like a rapid fire. So I'll start the first word. Waris, you can continue with the second one. It's like describe the following in one word. If you had to describe NSU yes in one word.
Learning
To me, it's
platform.
mitochondria, powerhouse of cell.
To me, it's learning platform.
Learning platform. Waris, next word.
All right. Sorry. I just lost the connection.
If you, wait. I got this. If you had to describe the wonderful faculty advisor of NSU, yes, Mr. Samuel Mursalin sir. Samuel sir has also been on our show. If you had to describe him in one word from your perspective.
In one word, it could be humble.
Yeah, bhai.
Did Asha select the word honorable?
Humble.
Also, I would select honorable. Honorable to me.
All right. The next word, if you had to describe the current EB board members or the EB board members from 2019-2020, the EBs before you, if you had to describe them in one word.
Well, it would be change initiators.
I think Shihab once again lost his connection,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll add him back. Yes, Shihab, if you had to describe the EV members of 2019-20 in one word.
1920, mentor.
If you had to describe Battle of Minds 2020 in one word.
Experience.
All right, it's tough. Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis.
If you had to describe the year 2020 in one word.
Life lesson.
Shihab?
In one word, unpredictable.
Okay, this is very interesting. If you had to describe YEF in one word, your neighbor club, Young Economist Forum.
YEF.
Yes.
All right. YEF in one word.
Friendly.
Academia.
Acha. Now, this is the last word. If you had to describe Team Undisputed in one word.
Is it to me or to Arshad?
Both of you. Both of you.
Arshad, start first.
Legacy.
Shihab?
It's tough for me to select. Undisputed. All right. I can't. Pass it. Pass.
Okay. This round is also very interesting. This or that. If you had to choose between ad makers and masters of ideation.
Masters of ideation.
Masters of ideation.
If you had to choose between NMCI or interprets, if I'm not wrong.
Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
If you had to choose between sports or music.
Music.
Sports.
Ideation or making slides.
Both, but ideation.
Making slides.
Organizing or participating in business competition.
Both.
Both.
All right. So with that, we're done with the session. It was an amazing session. Great start for the year for me personally. So I want to know your thoughts, final thoughts on being a part of our show. Both Arshad Bhai, Shihab Bhai, do tell us a bit about the session. Do tell us a bit about NSU Talks, how much you know about it and the experience. How was it like?
Arshad, start kar.
All right. So to be very honest, thank you guys for having us here. It was an amazing experience, and I'd like to thank the organizers, and Zidan, Waris, and your team for having us here. I wish you all the very best for the future endeavors. It was an amazing journey, and I just like what I have suggested, Zidan, back to 1 month earlier about a series of MDBs that you can arrange. That would be very helpful. And you're good going. You guys are very good going. And one last statement from my end, from my personal experience that I'd like to share for the audience who are actually watching. It is very important that we realize the fact that life is like an upside down curve, and in between that line we need to understand that who we are, what we are doing, and what we want to accomplish. It is always the short term and the long term honest intention that matters the most for any success. On that note, wish you all the very best for this new year, and I hope and pray that you guys will be reach the success and that you intend to go for.
Thank you so much. Shihab.
Well, thank you so much, Zidan and Waris, for calling us. We didn't thought that you guys would start your new year with us. So thanks for calling us here today. Thanks for being a part of NSU Talk. You guys are, inshallah, তোমরা যেই টার্গেট নিয়ে মাঠে নামছো, মানে you guys are executing this thing. Hopefully এগুলো ফুলফিল হবে। জিদানের আর ওয়ারিসের শোতে আসতে পেরে আমি সত্যি আসলে গর্বিত। ভালো লাগছে সত্যি কথা। আর থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ। তোমরা যেই কি বলবো, যে কোনো কিছু লাগলে just we are just a knock away to NSU, yes, to Team Undisputed or to Arshad or to Shihab. Just knock us for anything. আমরা কয়েকদিন পরে ক্লাবের রিক্রুটমেন্ট করব ইনশাআল্লাহ। So we want to urge those who are seeing, যারা হচ্ছে রিক্রুটমেন্টে পার্টিসিপেট করতে চাও or want to be a part of NSU yes journey, do participate and stay tuned with Zidan and Waris. Best of luck.
Before I end the show, I have to say, you know, there was this one instance আমি আগে অনেক এমিয়ন করতাম. It was an ECA back in the day, and me and Shihab were in a particular committee, and he was my EB, I was a delegate. I never thought we would do this someday, like virtually একটা interview নিব Shihab, And I think the way he transitioned himself from back then to now, I always looked up to him back then, because he was my EB, and now even he's doing so good with Team Undisputed and all his business competition legacy. So it was an amazing journey with Shihab Bhai, I have to say, because we go a bit long back. And also with Arshad Bhai, I think it was an amazing experience to get to know him. I have saw him firsthand, the way he conducted the entire Battle of Minds, the way he brought in participants for Battle of Minds from our university. It was amazingly done. So thank you so much to both of you all for giving us your time, and best of luck. Best of luck to NSU, yes, for whatever journey or whatever event they wish to organize. We wholeheartedly have always promoted you guys, and we would want to do it in the future as well. So with that note,
Thank you so much for that advice.
Highly appreciate it, brother.
we would like to end our first show of the first year. Hopefully, we can continue this in the later part of the year as well. So it's a good night from us.
Assalamu alaikum,
Good
everyone.
night.
Bye.
Assalamu alaikum.
Tata.